Thank you for joining us on a very busy Thursday night. Day 5 now in the search for Nancy Guthrie, but new clues coming out today at a major press conference just hours ago. There is a potential ransom note, investigators said, and if genuine, it comes with a demand for money and a deadline fast approaching. Tonight, 5 p.m. Mountain Time. Authorities taking it seriously, they say, but add that they've had no proof of life since the 84-year-old vanished early Sunday. And that's what the Guthrie siblings, including Today co-anchor Savannah Guthrie, are asking for now as well, telling their mother's potential captor to demonstrate that, quote, she is alive and that you have her. As for the suspects, today the sheriff said, quote, we have nobody. Jonathan Vigliotti has been covering this from the very beginning, and he joins us now once again. Jonathan, good evening.
And Tony, good evening to you. The sheriff has confirmed blood found here at the scene belongs to Nancy Guthrie. It is still unclear at this hour who took her, but tonight the real possibility that the author of that ransom note is connected to the crime.
Disturbing new details about the ransom note. The FBI confirmed there were 2 deadlines and say they are taking the note seriously.
Did make a demand for 5 p.m. today, and if a transfer wasn't made, then I think a second demand was for next Monday.
It's unclear what the exact terms of the deadlines are. We pressed officials about its authenticity.
But not everyone is presented to the family. Why this one?
Because this was the ransom that came in and it had facts associated with a deadline, with a monetary value they were asking for.
And
so
what were some of those facts, if you can, because there's been a lot of speculation, as you know, if you could set the record straight.
Yeah, the ransom itself, one talked about an Apple Watch and one talked about a floodlight.
The sheriff released an updated timeline showing that Nancy Guthrie arrived home Saturday night at 9:48 p.m., the garage door closing 2 minutes later. At 1:47 a.m., the doorbell camera disconnects. At 2:12 a.m., software detects movement, but it wasn't recorded. At 2:28 a.m., Nancy Guthrie's pacemaker disconnects from her phone. At 11:56 a.m., the family checks on Nancy. There is now growing desperation and mounting heartbreak.
Mommy, if you are hearing this, you are a strong woman.
Last night, Savannah Guthrie, her sister Annie, and brother Cameron responded to the ransom note, making a gut-wrenching plea.
We need to know, without a doubt, that she is alive and that you have her.
Authorities now say that DNA has revealed that bloodstains found outside the home belong to Guthrie. Potentially hampering investigators, Nancy Guthrie's home is in a hilly and rugged community with homes nestled well away from main streets. The isolation is clearly visible. Home security cameras from neighbors may not be able to see movement. Clues and suspects could vanish undetected. The sheriff says investigators continue to canvass the area looking for additional leads.
Everyone is looking for you, Mommy, everywhere. We will not rest. Your children will not rest until we are together again.
And there has been no proof of life. CBS News has learned that hostage negotiators with the FBI are now here on the ground. This as officials continue to call on the public for their help. There are 3 tip lines. Their numbers, Tony, are posted right there on the screen.
Jonathan, thank you very much. We're joined now by former FBI agent Katherine Schweit, who remarkably has experience on similar kidnapping cases and can help us with some insight into what we learned today. Kate, thank you very much for joining us right now. This first bit of information that I found remarkable was in the potential ransom note, there are 2 deadlines, one for later tonight, another for Monday if tonight's is not met. What do you make of that?
You know, it could be something as simple as just deadlines on and limits on accounts, cryptocurrency or, you know, funds being moved. There might be limits or there might be concerns that if this amount is transferred or somebody might not have the ability to move that amount. It might be coming from different accounts. So I think we don't know for sure because this is an unusual request.
It is an unusual request, and it's such an unusual case because it was clear today at the press conference that authorities don't feel they have proof of life. And then in the emotional video from the Guthrie family, they were asking the potential abductor to demonstrate that they have their mom and that she is okay. How does this normally work? Is it unusual for this to be so vague?
It is, and that's part of the struggle, right? You're working with a one-way communication here, and the family needs proof of life. They need to know that this person is still alive, because there are people who will commit fraud and simply ask for money, and then you transfer money to someplace, and it goes and that person disappears, and you have nothing, no indication that you have your person yet. So you need to know that you're really dealing with a person who has her and is willing to bring her home.
Kate, we also learned today a better sense of the timeline early Sunday morning. There's a moment when the doorbell camera is disconnected, another moment when apparently somebody might have been there at the door. That's not confirmed. What do you make of that? Is there any lead there and anything that gives you hope that this could come to a peaceful resolution?
Yes, the timeline helps us to see, it helps law enforcement to match things. They might have information about a car that drove by. That timeline on the Ring camera disappearing might be relevant, right? That's how you connect those things together. And as far as hopefulness, let me tell you, I will say that the case that I worked maybe 23 years ago this very week, we had an 88-year-old woman who was kidnapped from her home in the middle of the night. And 5 days later, she was returned home to her family, healthy and alive.
We are hoping for that result here as well. Kate, thank you very much.